So I just hit 1 month since I quit my job and I thought an update was due. If you're new here, you probably don't know, but I quit my job. I posted about it about a month and some weeks ago, but I go into detail as to why I decided to make that big decision. So if you're interested in checking it out, I will link the video for you guys to check out here. And if you've already watched it, welcome back. I'm so excited that you're here. And if you're either thinking about quitting your job or you've done it, you're probably gonna wanna stick around and see, one, what are those emotional stages are like, but more importantly, how do you get through them? Okay, so in the first stage leading up to me quitting my job like that last week, for one, it didn't feel real. I felt like at the end of that week, like I was just gonna go on vacation for an extended period of time and then I would eventually go back to work. So that was just kind of the feeling that I had internally. And then the actual day of came, it felt the same. I had like a really nice going away lunch with my coworkers and it was really good that weekend. Like I celebrated with some friends, and the nice thing about the way that I left was that I felt like everyone was really cheering me on, like from my coworkers, my boss, my family, my friends. I really felt like everyone was genuinely excited and happy for me, and like that really helped the process in the beginning and I felt great. Fast forward to the first Monday after I quit my job, I was like, okay, I quit my job. Like I am going full force. Like I'm a content creator now. I'm going full force with YouTube. Like I'm trying to grow this platform and I have to put out good content. I need to be consistent, put out 2 videos a week, all this stuff. And that first day I recorded, I like did a whole bunch of stuff. It felt like that day, like I did laundry and I cleaned and I worked out and like I felt like I did all of these things that made me feel very productive, and I recorded a video and I talked about how great I felt, and genuinely in the moment like I did feel really good and like, you know, I had made the right decision and I was moving in the right direction. You know, that first week honestly was pretty okay. And I would say that that was the stage where I was in, where I just kind of had like this excitement and motivation still like really at the surface. So I was doing great. The following week, however, all of like the doubt started creeping in. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. And I was completely like doubting myself. I was questioning whether or not I had made the right decision. And I even like started looking for new jobs. Like quite honestly, my intention with quitting my job was to become an entrepreneur, to start my own business, to figure out really what it is that I'm passionate about and pursue it. Not necessarily to go and work for another company again, which, just quick disclaimer, if I end up having to do that in the future, then it is what it is. Like I'm not opposed to it. If you have a job, a 9-to-5 job, like there's no shame in that. But I just wanted to try my luck and see what I could create on my own. And that was really what I had set out to do. So with that being said, me looking for another 9-to-5 job, like it just was not aligned with my initial vision. And so it was really just that doubt creeping in that was causing me to go back on what I had originally set out to do and try to find the easy way out. If you recently quit your job, you probably feel this as well, where you're just kind of like I don't know, maybe this whole thing is not for, like maybe this whole entrepreneur, starting my own business kind of life is not for me. Maybe I'm just better off getting another job. One, let's pause there real quick, because truly that is just fear stepping in and talking to you, and that is just a voice that you want to tune out. So then you'll be already like in a bad state of mind where you feel like, oh man, maybe I didn't make the right decision. And then you feel like little things start to confirm it for you. For example, for me, that first week that I quit my job, I posted 2 videos. And mind you, the video prior to those 2 had started really picking up, and like I was getting views daily. just relying on the algorithm, which I was so excited about, right? So I'm thinking I am going to be getting so many views. Like, this is gonna be a walk in the park for me. It's gonna be a breeze. Like, I'm just gonna build this following so quickly. And let me tell you what happened. I didn't know that you had to link your YouTube channel to your Epidemic Sound subscription. So what ends up happening is that I upload my videos. I'm super excited to see, like, okay, who's gonna view them? Like, how many views am I gonna get? Blah, 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 all this stuff. And then I go in to check my like views, and it says that like my video was under review because I had some kind of like infringement. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, what the heck did I do? This is only like my third video. Like, what is this? And I go in, and apparently like I was getting like a copyright claim from Epidemic Sound because I hadn't given them credit. And then I was like, how do I give them credit? I was like, I have no idea how this works. Come to find out, I had to link my account. So I had to go back in, change out the music with one of like YouTube's recommended sounds, and it was a whole thing. And so I had to do that for both of the videos that I uploaded. And so anyways, that really bummed me out, and it made me question, like, okay, am I even on the right track? Should I be doing this? Like, clearly nobody wants to watch my videos. They are sucky. And I started like falling into like a lot of like negative self-talk, and I was like, Helen, I was like, let's just take a step back. Because one, I was putting way too much pressure on myself right out of the gate. And then I had this realization that I didn't want to do things the same exact way I had done them before, because I have a track record of... So my storage filled up, so I had to start over. A pain. Anyways, where I left off was talking about finding a pattern with myself. So I realized that I had this pattern with jobs. So I would start a new job. I was like really excited, and I felt this pressure that I had to be perfect and know everything straight out of the gate. So I would work really hard to try to like get to this unrealistic level of perfection. And ultimately, like, I would just end up burning out. And then once I was burnt out, like, in my head, I was like, clearly this company is not for me. Like, they're not giving me the right tools. Something is wrong with them, not me. And then I would move on to the next company, and the cycle would repeat. And so it wasn't until this period of time that I gave myself after I quit my job to just like reflect and, you know, just giving myself the space, one, to like heal emotionally, and two, to reflect on like my life and like what I wanted to do, and, you know, just working on becoming a better version of myself. It wasn't until then that I realized this. And then I was like, okay, I don't want my entrepreneur journey to start off in the same way. I don't want to put so much pressure on myself that I feel like I'm going to burn out. I don't want to put so much pressure on myself where I feel like I'm not doing enough, and then it's going to cause me to want to do so much more, and eventually like I'll end up burning out. And so I decided that I would just allow myself to chill out. This was like the last 2 weeks of December. So either way, it was just kind of like, okay, it's the last 2 weeks of the year. Like, you've worked all year, you deserve a break. Like, allow yourself to take a break. And I just focused on myself, and I focused on spending time with my family, with my friends, reading, doing a lot of like self-discovery, and like looking internally a lot. And let me just say, like, this book right here, The Mountain Is You, like helped me so much during this season or stage, because one, like, this book is about self-sabotage and like how to overcome it, and also about like some self-limiting beliefs. And, you know, at the time, like, I didn't realize that I had a lot of emotional healing to do, but as I started reading this book, like, I really allowed myself to feel my feelings instead of like trying to suppress them, which I didn't realize was something that I had been doing my whole life. Like, I used to pride myself in that I thought I was so strong and that I never cried, and crying is for the weak. And I don't know where I got that thought from, but like it's actually the opposite. Like when you're vulnerable, like that really shows strength. And during this last month, like I've just allowed myself to feel every single feeling, and I've cried so many times. Like I've had deep conversations with my mom, with my husband. Like I felt like I've really been able to heal a lot of the things that were in a way holding me back. And it was just such a good reset and foundation for me to then be on here today and actually like get started with this journey. So my best piece of advice to you, if you are currently in a stage where you're trying to figure out what the heck you're doing and you feel overwhelmed, depressed, sad, anxious, lost, stuck, just like all of the bad feelings that you don't want to feel. I know it sucks, but until you actually allow yourself to sit in that and learn from it, like you're going to keep coming back to this place. And so in order for you to move forward and be stronger, you have to process your feelings and you have to let yourself know. And I'm letting you know, like, it's okay to feel crappy sometimes. It really is. Like, we're taught somehow, or like the expectation is that we're supposed to always be like happy and like upbeat and all this stuff. And yes, like overall, I feel like I'm a happy person. Like I have joy in my life, but there are moments and there are seasons where there's a transformation happening, like you and I are going through right now. And it merits a good cry, and it merits just giving yourself the space and grace to like learn and grow. And that's my best piece of advice for you, is to make sure that you're working on healing yourself, on building a strong foundation, because at the end of the day, the core of your business is you. And it's not until you're okay that your business will start to flourish. There are definitely some tools that you can use to help you navigate this season. For one, like I started reading more consistently. It really helped me. Like I said, The Mountain Is You is such a good book. I totally recommend it. Reading the Bible and being in prayer with God is also an amazing thing, because I mean, that's where it all stems from, right? Like the healing and everything is coming from Him. And like, I'm just grateful. I feel like He's delivered me from a lot of, like emotional baggage and trauma that I was holding on to. And I'm so grateful for that. And then for just like daily motivation and to feel like you're connected to a community that is on a similar journey to you, like podcasts are great. So I just came across this one podcast. It's called Empower Her. And the speaker's name is Keisha. I don't know. I always say her name wrong. But anyways, her podcast is amazing. Like her energy is so good. She's like the best friend everyone wants to have, because she's super encouraging. She somehow like knows exactly what you're going through and knows exactly what you need to hear. And I just love listening to her. So I'll listen to a podcast like in the morning when I'm getting ready in the shower, and as I'm getting like my day started. It really helps set yourself up for success in the morning. Another thing that I've been doing is journaling. I had started journaling a few months ago, and I've realized that it's helped me so much just from like a clarity standpoint to like really sort through your feelings, because a lot of the times we like have all these thoughts racing through our heads, and it's not until we put them on paper that we can kind of like get them out and then like make sense of them. One. And then two, now that I've been doing this for a few months, like it's so cool to look back at some of my older like journal entries and just see like, man, I've come a long way, even just like in the last few months. And that's such a cool thing to see, just like, you know, how God's been answering my prayers, and just that like in the moment it feels like you're stuck and you're like not making any progress, but when you're able to look back, you can see how far you've truly come, and that is just so like motivating. And that's what I've really liked about journaling. So if you haven't tried it, like I definitely encourage it. I also put together like a 30-day series of self-discovery journal prompts, and I'll link it down below for you guys to download it and check it out. I think it's really helpful for you to just kind of like, if you know, don't have a place to start, sometimes like starting with a prompt helps you kind of get in the right mindset, or start writing about, things and things like it helps you get started. And you don't have to overcomplicate it. If you just want to start writing about how you feel, do that. It's a great way to start. So bottom line is, it does get worse before it gets better, but you will make it through. Like, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You will get past this. You will make it through. The challenges that you're experiencing now are building you up and making you stronger for the journey that you are about to embark on, or that you're already on. Because let's be real, like, life is a consistent journey. There's challenges, there's obstacles that are thrown at us, but at the end of the day, that's life, and it's not until you're faced with these challenges that you are forced to change and to grow and to evolve. So count it as a blessing, because otherwise you'd probably be stuck in the same place. And I think that's really what life is about. It's about growth, it's about learning. And I've said this before in one of my videos, like, this isn't just the journey of me quitting my job and figuring out what I want to do with my life. It's self-discovery, it's healing, it's growing, and I'm just so thankful for it. Like, no matter the stage of life that I find myself in, like, I'm just grateful for where I'm at, and I'm thankful that God is by my side always. So you've made it to the end of this really long video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you find this kind of content valuable, and if you want to go along on this ride together, then make sure you subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm rooting for you.